another kind of story altogether.
Who's feeling young now?
Oh, hey, Liam, I want to see your teeth. Look at that smile. It worries me so much because the state our country's in. Put it on. I don't know what my children and grandchildren will do. Oh, is that cute?
Uh-oh, another one coming.
Another one loose. Oh, I need to pull that out.
So, where were we?
You're not here. You're just a bad dream, like my mom said.
What I am is a real live nightmare that your mom and dad and a whole lot of other people are going to have to wake up to in the not-so-distant future. Just like the 3 pigs.
They lived happily ever after,
Says you.
says my mom.
She was missing some pages. We can skip a few decades here, yada yada yada, and... The first 2 pigs learned a valuable lesson from their brother and had built houses of brick for themselves.
Pigs are smart. I've read that.
Indeed. And as they oinked on into their golden years, they began to think about how they would spend them. The first little pig, who had recently begun collecting Social Security, was looking at retirement communities in Florida. The second pig, who would soon be collecting his city pension, dreamed of spending his days fishing. The third pig, who had contributed to a 401k for years, planned on touring the enchanted forest in an RV.
My grandparents have an RV.
Bet your granddad has a pension.
No, it's a Winnebago.
No, I'm talking about a... never mind. Let's get back to our story.
It sounds like they were gonna live happily ever after.
You'd think. But our confident little pigs were in for quite a shock when they discovered they weren't living in a fairy tale after all. What?
I don't think I like this story.
You and me both, kid. What?
So I gotta get these wrapped. Get ready for the party tomorrow. Geritol. I didn't even think I'd be able to find it. Tabasco green. I've heard as you get older, you lose your sense of taste. And so you keep spicing your food more and more and more. And they're going to get a real chuckle out of this. Depends for men.
How about 59?
How about not?
How about 56? I don't like 95.
Here we go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Bob. Happy birthday to you. Are you 20? Are you 30? And many more.
Bob Beardsley's 65th birthday sounds like it's all laughs.
This is not nice, guys.
He's doing his best to put on a happy birthday face for the grandkids and their parents in from New Jersey.
What is this?
Oh. I'm officially old.
The only thing is we didn't...
Are you kidding?
At 65, Bob might be expected to retire like many of his fellow baby boomers, but he's not.
Okay, let me try it. I now have to build this sucker, so that's my next job.
4 months into his self-imposed deadline to find work or move, he's still looking for a job.
Now, I've interviewed 6 times, and I'm not being further considered. I didn't get very far in the interview process.
Yeah, all right. I can do it.
Okay.
I can work this.
Birthdays are increasingly becoming a gateway to be at risk of being poor or actually near poor. Aging in America is clearly becoming more risky.
Economist Teresa Ghilarducci has studied the retirement prospects of future retirees, and her conclusions are startling.
You guys are bad.
We found that half of middle-class older workers now will expect to have less than $5 a day for food in retirement.
I'm afraid to open anything else.
Then as they age in retirement, it's going to be more and more difficult for that former middle-class retiree not to live in poverty, which means a chronic state of want.
I'll miss it.
While a life of poverty may seem unthinkable for Julia and Bob, the story of Bob's parents makes the prospect of a lower standard of living very real.
My parents both worked for aerospace, and they were both laid off. They ended up in a mobile home with their 2 Social Security checks and a small bit of retirement. I see that some of my savings is going away, and I don't want to end up in a trailer in Alpine, California.
Oh, yeah.
Alpine's okay, trailer not. The house has lost, on paper, almost half of its value. We couldn't afford to sell it today. We'll have to wait a few years, and then hopefully it'll come back.
Their house in the San Francisco Bay Area was a big part of their nest egg. Now, it's a big part of the problem. They bought the house in 2005, at the height of the real estate bubble in California.
I probably have 50% of what I need to retire comfortably, not in this house, but in a little more modest house.
Cost of living in this area is pretty expensive. Our electric bill in this summer is around $600 a month.
Can you pass some napkins, please?
Yeah.
We just cut back on magazine subscriptions and cable and just whatever little ways we could think of, not eating out.
This is the one that we've got to pay, or they're going to be upset with us.
Yeah.
It's a little frightening, and we could lose everything, but not right now, but we could lose more and more of the savings as we're trying not to lose everything else. Okay. Oh, here we go.
For Bob, simply turning 65 will help ease some of the financial stress of not having a job.
Thank you.
He will officially be on Medicare as of his birthday. That's a really good thing for us right now. He doesn't have any insurance. He hasn't had for quite a while. He had Cobra for several months, and I don't know if you know about Cobra, but it's pretty pricey. So he finally just gave it up, and he said, I won't have an accident or I won't get sick.
Julia knows all too well the financial gamble he took with his health. 4 years ago, when Julia was 66, she and Bob received an unexpected blow.
I was diagnosed with anal cancer on December 28th, 2009. That happened to be our 28th wedding anniversary. This is the day we got married.
Yep.
I got up one morning and immediately fell on the floor.
Her white blood cell count
Went to 0.
Ooh.
Oh, this one, wow. And Bob bundled me into the car, took me over to the hospital.
So they put her into an isolation room.
Fed her full of antibiotics.
And my sweet son, Jeff, had shaved his head in solidarity. I spent 8 or 10 days in the hospital.
And there was an 8-hour corridor which I could have lost her. And so when she did make it, it was a celebration.
Yeah, and every day since then is a celebration. Ready? Go get it.
A celebration thanks largely to her Medicare coverage.
We wouldn't have been able to have the scans and all of the medical things done to me that were so crucial to keeping me alive. Where did Louie go? Bob calls me the $2 million woman. Come on, let's go, come on.
That's right, $2 million in medical expenses picked up by Medicare.
Boy, Louie.
But it was the uncovered additional expenses that began to chip away at the couple's nest egg.
There was the $100, the $400, the $300 for extra things and things that weren't covered. That added up to thousands of dollars, and that was a hard hit too. One night, I snuck a Captain Jack Sparrow into the room and put it up above her bed, and so when she woke up, it was staring down at her.
Living longer adds another wrinkle to the American retirement picture, an increasing number of years to stretch a retirement budget.
Oh, and my hair coming off, wow.
Your hair cutter still talks about it.